Steven.
Well, it was a wonderful summer
There's
series,
Steven.
and I want to just thank you for being such gracious, receptive hosts as these friends came to open the Word. I heard a lot of comments. Just about all of our speakers were new, and they all want to come back. In fact, they really love the fact that you bought all their books. They seem to have cleaned them out. That's a wonderful thing. We've already begun working on next summer. Scheduled some to return, like Erwin Lutzer will be here. Lee Anderson will be new to us. Stuart Briscoe and his wife Jill will be new to us. Dr. Lowry, a very funny individual. If you've never heard of him, you won't want to miss his irreverent behavior. He'll be with us. So at any rate, thank you. I do want to mention, you probably got an email. If you didn't, we ought to have you on our list. We had to cancel this evening. We're scheduling it next Sunday evening here on our property in the courtyard. We'll set up the swimming pool out there for about 60 of our students to be baptized, and we'll have our dinner on the grounds out here. Unable to go again, but it was supposed to rain starting this past Friday, 80%, and it's been a beautiful weekend. I'm really hoping it rains tonight. But they had to cancel it on Thursday because of all the moving parts of the trucks and the equipment and all of that. So, at any rate, nothing here tonight. Take the afternoon and evening off. Had the Apostle Paul and his missionary partner Silas gotten their way, if God had answered their prayers and affirmed their desires as they thought God would have, the church, in fact the first church in Europe, would have never been planted. In fact, for a season of time, if you dig a little bit into Paul's personal testimony, every time he asked God to do something, God said no, and his ministry was a series of dead ends. He and Silas said, well, what do you think we go deeper into the east and minister there in God's Spirit? Said no. What do you think we not go so far, but go to Bithynia in the east? And God said no. And then one night, Paul has a vision of a man from the west on the coast of Europe saying, come and help us. That's the vision. He's crying out, Paul, come and help us. He awakens and knows this is from God. And he and Silas assume that God has downloaded, as it were, into the GPS of their missionary journey a brand new path. And they set sail. It takes them a few days, but this direction will change the course of church history. In fact, you need to understand this will change the course of Western history. The gospel will move from east to west. And God's no now suddenly becomes God's go. And you need to understand as well, we're not even going to do anything but just say it, but Europe did not produce Christianity. Christianity will produce Europe. 10 years later, after he settles for a while in one particular town, Paul will send a letter back to them. It's a thriving, healthy church now. In fact, it is his favorite church, the only church that supported him as a missionary through the course of his ministry.